friends, it's Victor, King of Morons. Welcome to another long ass video.
Hi guys, it's Victor, gimmeabreakman, and this is, as Tomoko said, a long ass video. Before we start, I want to show you what I'm wearing in the video. This is how I shot today's video. It's a laundry video, and it's also a GoPro biking video. And I put the GoPro right up here in a case. Of course, I'm using the GoPro now, so you can't see it, but the GoPro will go on my shoulder there. And I biked around on the go. Now it is a laundry video, so you don't actually have to watch if you don't want to. You can just walk around your apartment and do your laundry or whatever. It takes time, yoga, whatever. But if you want to, you can watch this a little bit of the city you'll be seeing at night with the GoPro at 1080p, 60 frames per second, which apparently is the best. I do want to point out something. This is what some people might consider a kind of a drama video, but I don't consider it drama. I consider it a learning experience. I learned something. Although I'm getting older, I'm still learning something. So I got to keep it down. The baby's sleeping. So hopefully you'll get something out of it too. Now there's two guys I'll be talking about today. It's a long ass video, and I want to point out something that I forgot to mention. And I do realize that there's one of the guys I talk about is writing a book. And I criticize this guy for being a one-trick pony, but I do realize that maybe as a result of my criticism, I may have, I don't know at all, of course, because I haven't talked to him about this, I may have inspired him to, or at least pushed him into the direction of something new and different, because one of my criticism of his work is that it's kind of limited in scope, to put it nicely. That's it. And let me just add, I don't have any malice towards anyone I speak of in this video at all. Yeah. So that's about it. And like I said, if you like this, did I say this? I don't know. If you like the video, I don't care about your subscription. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe. But if you don't, who cares? I don't care. What I am interested in is in your feedback and your opinion. I'm always interested to see what people think. And of course, it is nice to see thumbs up. So if you did enjoy the video, then give me a thumbs up. It doesn't cost you anything. You might be stuck. Google might tell you. You might be telling Google that you think all my videos are great by accident, so sorry about that. But if you like this particular video, I appreciate the thumbs. Thanks for watching, and now on with the video. Yes, and we are recording. Cool, let's get on the road. Okay, got the microphone plugged in with a cat, black cat. What's it called? Black cat? Dead cat. Not a black cat, but what we're going to be talking about today is a black cat. Got a laundry vlog for you as I bicycle home. It's a long one. It's educational. Some people call it drama, but I don't do drama. Well, first of all, it's a stupid word. I've said it before, but there's no better word. So, what people call drama, I call a learning experience. This is what we need to talk about, to learn how to deal with each other. Training, how to be members of society, right? Social training, so to speak. But this is Nagoya, and I'm using a shoulder mount here. So I hope you can enjoy the city a little bit. So this is what happened, okay? I'm not going to mention names because I know the video is not intended to destroy anybody or to hurt anyone's career in any way. But I do want to point out some shit, and I hope he sees it, and I hope he doesn't comment on this video. He can PM me privately, but I really have no interest. Really, at this point right now. And I'm busy, I got my own shit to worry about, but I thought it was an interesting occurrence, and I want to tell you guys about it. So, let's get to the story. There's this guy on, in the world. He's an author, and as soon as I say this, some of you are going to know who he is, and I'm going to ask you, please do not comment until, don't be smart, yeah, okay, you know who he is, that's nice. But he's a writer, he's written a couple books. I believe he's self-published, but he may not be. He may be published by a reputable company. But he has a voice in the world, as in he has a popular blog and doesn't make videos or anything like that. He has a popular blog and he works for a reputable newspaper. Not exactly a journalist, so to speak. Like, he doesn't do investigative journalism so much as, I would say, commentary on society. And this is a big giveaway, he's black. Okay, which of course is not a problem. I'm Hispanic, I grew up in the States. and a lot of my I had a lot of experiences of people giving me shit about where are you really from, and go back to Mexico, go back to Puerto Rico, go back to Cuba, wherever the hell they thought I was from. No biggie, no biggie. My view, as I said in the last video, is racism is not really worth dwelling on because there's not much you can do about it, right? And you shouldn't, and I think a lot of people who dwell on it just they look at it as an excuse for failing. There are plenty of cases of successful people of all ethnic groups in the world, so for you to dwell on that is just silly. If other people, if other blacks and Hispanics and whatever can do it, then so can you, right? I'm going to take you around just to show you the city while we're chatting here, you and me, baby. So this guy, he's been in Japan a while, he's black, and he writes about black issues, okay? And a lot of you know who he is. And この辺タバコ禁止ってしてるでしょ? Anyway, and he's often on Facebook. We're kind of friends, I guess, but he's on Facebook and he's always writing about stuff and talking about everything that happens to him seems to have a racist slant to it, you know. He'll talk about some incident, and I've been struck by a few of his posts as being like just crazy. I'll tell you one. Someone looked at him funny in the subway, and he was patting himself on the back for not getting violent. Like he actually said, I wanted to hit him upside the head, which is what that kind of look would normally, that deserve. He said deserve. That would deserves a slap in the head, right? And I'm like, seriously, dude, you're gonna hit somebody for looking at you funny? And to me, that's not the way, you know, you're supposed to work. If somebody looks at you funny, you ignore him or look at him funny. But unless someone attacks you physically or is intimidating you, like in a dangerous way, resorting to violence is just silly and wrong. And it was funny because on his Facebook, people were complimenting him for being an angel for holding back, and I was just shaking my head like, seriously guys, and complimenting a man for not attacking someone? Oh, she's cute. Whew, excuse me. Maybe not the best place to have this serious conversation. This is the part of town where guys go to get drinks with hostess girls and stuff. But anyway, so that's that, right? So you understand my position right now. And I gave him shit about that, and then they did something else. He showed a picture of he writes for the newspaper, right? And he wrote about another black guy, and the other guy he was writing about was wearing a kimono, and he showed that picture to his coworkers. And I don't know about you, but if someone's writing an article, writing articles in the newspapers, and then they show that newspaper to you with a person dressed in a kimono, wearing a kimono can throw you off, you know. And you might think, hey, you know, just like wearing a funny hat. If I wear a funny hat or a costume, is that you? You know, oh, I didn't recognize you. You know. So his coworkers asked, oh, is that you? Right? Is that you in the kimono? And it wasn't, but he got offended over this. You know, I will give him this. One of his coworkers said, "Are you sure it's not you?" But I can still see that because I can see someone like trying to prank you, like, "No, of course it's me." Yeah, like just pretending it's not you, but actually it is you. You know? So anyway, so I gave him shit about that. I'm like, dude, not everything's about racism. Because that's what he was implying. Well, everything's racism, everything's racism. And I basically called him a one-trick pony. I said, all you talk about is black issues. You're living in Japan. That's all you can talk about. There's nothing else that strikes you about this country. There's so many things that are happening and happen in this country. There's no other angle. You know? I mean, there must be some other ways you can talk about you can use your voice. And I gave him shit. And we had a little back and forth on Facebook, and he ended up saying my videos were shit, I was a hack, and I made videos that were basically clickbait and trying to get the cheap view, which I don't actually believe he believes. I don't really believe he believes that, but I think he was just, you know, insulted, and he was lashing out, which is human. He's a human. I'm not going to hold that against him, really. But he said it, you know. He said, "You're basically full of shit, and your videos suck," right? Okay, fine. Now I've promoted him on YouTube in the past, and I bought two of his books, right? I like to support wannabe artists, wannabe whatever, you know. I like to support the arts. I bought a lot of people's CDs and donated to people who are artistic, etc. And I did the same for him, but I didn't find his work that compelling. It didn't really hold my attention. And that was it. That's the end of story, right? I stopped following his post on YouTube because I don't want to be aggravated by the silliness, you know. And I'm pretty confident in what I said. So that's it. End of story. A few months pass. A few days ago, I got an email from him or a Facebook message. I didn't read it really carefully because, you know, the first part was enough. He asked me to put aside a few hours out of my week. I believe it was supposed to be this week. And he'd like to interview me. He wants to interview people who are successful in Japan and put together a book. And I was like, really? So a couple things about this. I believe that this person is an attention whore in the worst way. Now, we all are attention whores. When I say that, I realize that, you know, that's such a possibly hypocritical thing to say coming from a YouTuber who often puts his camera on face on camera, and the camera on his face when no one's looking. But I think there is, you know, to defend my own, to defend myself against those accusations, you'll know that a lot of my videos do not have me in them at all. Some of my best ones, people might argue, don't have me in them at all. And I'm not all about showing my face. I definitely don't think I'm a horrible looking guy, but I don't think I'm the handsomest guy either. And I don't sell my videos on my looks like some lucky ladies do, but you know, I don't blame them either. That's the way the market works, right? It's fine. I'm not bitter about it. I'm realistic. A man's got to know his limitations, and I know my limitations. And he knows, I think, this person, he knew that if I agreed to be a subject of his book, that he'd get some free publicity out of it, because of course I would make a video promoting his book once it came out, because I would be in it, right? Who wouldn't promote that? And the other thing that this experience reminded me, well, I better finish up this part of it. So he basically claims to not respect my work as a video maker, which is fine. I'm a YouTuber. You're not held up to any high standards, man. There's people farting and kicking each other in the nuts here. You know, the standards are not that high. But I have my own loyal crowd, and I like to think I do have you know, standards. I do have a line that I won't cross, etc. And I would think he would too, as a newspaper man, so to speak. Maybe not, maybe he doesn't think of himself that way. But he, you know, he wants me to, he claims not to respect my stuff. And he wants to interview me for his book. After the insult, which he never apologized for, which is fine, but I don't care. That's not the point. The point is that it's hypocritical. Now, we're all hypocrites, I know, to an extent. But like I said, there's got to be a line, right? There's got to be a line. So I found that very hypocritical, and I thought it's cheap of him, right? He's basically selling out himself out for some free publicity that he imagined he would get by interviewing me and interviewing Pico Simon and some other people. But what he didn't count on was the fact that I'm not that cheap. Like, I know that it would actually help me too to be in that book. It would probably be quite useful to my YouTube career to be in that book. But I'll tell you a couple things about this. First of all, I've never given really an interview. I've been asked by the Japan Times twice to give interviews. And they sent me all these questions and asked me to answer them on camera. And just like Rachel and June did, just like Charlotte did, just like Tofugu did. But and this happened after Tofugu, before Charlotte, before Rachel. But I didn't do it. I should do it. I know I should. And there's nothing, I don't really have anything against the Japan Times at all. In fact, they're much better than Japan Today. But I'm not going to, here's the thing. He predicted I would be as, what's the word I'm looking for? Without principle as he is. As I am now kind of accusing him. Yes, I'm accusing him of being a man without principles because he's willing to, or we could say, I could be wrong. I could be saying he's a man who's willing to let bygones be bygones, and this might be his attempt to sweep things under the rug. So I might be wrong. Like, I'm actually just having that thought right now, but well, this whole video could be just a big misunderstanding. But of course, how am I supposed to know that? I mean, he never really apologized for trashing me as a video maker, which honestly is fine. I mean, I actually don't. I mean, I wish I could be much more professional than I am. I wish my videos could be much better, but I don't have the time. But I really do enjoy speaking to you guys and talking about my thoughts, and I'm always amazed that people listen. Like, why you guys listen? So I think he miscalculated. My thought is he presumed I would be as eager and as shallow as he is, and I would do whatever I could to promote my channel, even if I had to work with somebody whose work that he knows I don't really respect. I'm sorry, it's not terrible. I mean, okay, no, it isn't so much that it's the work I respect, it's the product. Does that make sense? People work hard and you think, okay, great, you worked really hard, but I really don't care for the end product. The topic does not interest me. Spending your whole time obsessed with one thing, like Debito does, right? I just think it's just so narrow and kind of sad. Like, man, there's so much good in the world, so many good things to focus on. Why are you always talking about that? There's so many other things to talk about. That's why my channel's a mess. I talk about everything and anything that interests me. But anyway, and it's not without cause completely, my presupposition, because I'll tell you something else. A few months ago, maybe even a year ago, he sent me a private message asking me, maybe it was public, actually no, it was public, I think, I don't remember. But here's the thing, he sent me a message about a certain Canadian woman who had done blackface on her channel. I've never seen the video. I don't even know when it was done. I don't watch this person at all. Even when people bug me and send me her videos, I just don't watch her. But he sent me a message saying, we need to get rid of this bitch, or maybe he didn't say bitch. Okay, I'll take that back. But he said, we need to get rid of this. I don't know what word he could have used. I'm sure he didn't say white woman, but we need to get rid of her. She's got to go, or something like that. I'm not saying like murder, of course, just like we got to do something to bring her down, And I responded, I said, I've had enough of this particular woman. I'm not interested in getting involved with her anymore. Her subscribers are idiots, and they want to think the best of her, and I just think she's not a good person. So there's no point. I'm not going to get involved, and so I didn't. I declined. And that's the other thing that bugs me, is that people think I'm a goddamn attack dog. They'll send me something and say, go ahead and attack. And here's something else that people may not know, is Rachel never asked me to make a video supporting her and Rachel and Charlotte when they had their little beef with that Canadian person. The person who must never be named. No, nobody asked me to do that. So, anyway, back to our black protagonist. Whoa, that sounds almost like an insult. He emailed me asking me to attack her, which is not in itself a terrible thing at all. I mean, he just had strong feelings, which is fine. But here's the thing, a few months later at a YouTube gathering, he was all chummy with her, taking pictures of her, had his arm around her. And I'm like, dude, you're such a phony. You're such a phony. Now, I will admit to one thing though. I was at a different event at about the same time with said person, said Canadian, and she was so trashed that I thought I'm gonna get some too. Because people were taking our pictures anyway as groups, you know. So I do appear in some pictures with her, but it was mostly because I thought I thought it would be obvious that she was trashed, and I thought that would be funny, you know. Which is kind of mean, I know, but I was drinking myself. So I thought, oh, it's going to be so obvious that she's trash, and I wasn't. She's a lightweight, okay, which I don't hold against her. I don't hold that against her, at least. So I just thought, don't be phony, dude. Don't be a phony. If you don't like somebody, just don't like them, or at least don't pretend to like them in public and shit. But she's going to help your channel, and it isn't just this person. There's another person that we had on our channel who's very respected, very smart, also has a really successful blog, and does not like this woman at all. But when she shouted out his blog, I felt, and I could be wrong, I felt that he was pretty kiss-assy about it, like just honored. Oh, thank you so much, I want to thank you. But you know, all the while, you know, he's thinking she's kind of a jerk, right? Now, I'd like to end with one other thing that I think, well, should I? This is kind of long. I got one more thing that I guess I could stick at the end of this, because also I don't really have anything against this person, though people think I do. There's another, well, I can say his name. Okay, JL, what's his name? Ryan Boundless. He started a Patreon, which I have no problem with at all. I think good for you. Yeah, because YouTube doesn't pay shit, man. All the views we get, they don't pay shit. We got to figure out ways to make this worthwhile doing, and we want to make it worthwhile doing because we want to keep doing it. But you know, as adults with responsibilities, it's really irresponsible to do YouTube unless you can figure, I mean, to the extent that we do, unless you can figure out a way to get something out of it for your family, right? Not to saying that I don't love doing it. I do love doing it, but it would be irresponsible to do it without making some money out of it. If you can, you know, if you can. I'm sure I would probably still do it anyway, but why not get paid for doing something you actually enjoy and that people enjoy? So of course we get the ad revenue, but that in itself is not enough at all, and it's actually gone down about 50% in the last few years, like a lot. And it's very competitive out there. It's very hard to compete against everyone out there. So more J bloggers out there, more pretty ladies to compete with. Actually, they're not. I joke about that, but they're not really competition. As in, we're no competition for them. They get views, and the people who would rather watch me are not really that interested in them. Which actually includes me. I actually prefer watching Substance. Ooh, that's an insult. No, but some of them do make very good videos, but some of them do like Substance, and they're just pretty gross. But yeah, I will never. But there are no just, well, other guys who are just pretty who get views for just being good looking. I don't think so. No, because the majority of YouTube is men. You know, I mean the viewers. So I can say that without being sexist. But a lot of them are good YouTubers. A lot of my friends, female friends, aren't good YouTubers. But some of them are just shallow, just a pretty face. Okay, so enough of that. Enough of that rant. The point is, this is the funny part. Yeah, remember, this is a laundry vlog. Who knows where my mind will take me. So Ryan Boundless started up a Patreon, and he's been trying to get people to go over there, and he's not doing very well. He's not doing well because he doesn't offer like valuable things that people might consider valuable. Like we actually offer real lessons once a week. We publish Tomoko Sensei lessons. I offer one-on-one Skype lessons, Japanese lessons, with 2 different teachers once a week as well. We offer real things. We raffle off antique boxes and boxes of goodies. Not just antique, but good stuff. Anyway, we have lots of prizes, t-shirts and stuff we give away. Anyway, I do my best to treat my Patreon. Well, actually, I do a pretty good job, but I'm always thinking I could do better. I really gotta thank these guys that do such a good job. But here's the point. My Patreon guys are really good, and they really support me, and I do a fairly successful Patreon, despite actually having fairly low. Well, actually, my combined views are pretty good, but if you look at my subscriber, my view subscriber ratio, it's pretty low, right? Which is typical though. It's like 5% is lucky these days. It really is. I mean, that's the way the game works. I know people who are bigger get even less, so that's the way it works. Okay, so back to the point. So Ryan Boundless, who I have publicly disagreed with on some of his videos in the past, started up a Patreon, and what happens? He gets so much shit for it, like he's just an evil person, which I think is dumb. Who cares? Good. I mean, come on. If you like all these people who have claimed that they support him, you know, they're always defending him. But when push comes to shove, when it comes down to you're putting your money where your mouth is, his subscribers, I'm sorry, but they left him high and dry. I haven't checked recently, but I think it was like $150 or $140 they pledged to him, which is great. You know, I mean, that for all those people who pledged, that's great. And I'm not even saying that that's bad. That's a low number. I'm saying that the shit he got for it was, I think, uncalled for. Instead of giving him shit, give him suggestions on what you would like, or what, you know, what would entice you to support him, because you obviously do like him. I don't know why, but a lot of you do like him. So then help the guy out. You know, I mean, you're his fans, right? Help the guy out. Now, I did see one weird video where he Skyped with some, I gotta say it, man, a real scumbag, and he showed some of the Skype video on his channel. I was like, oh my god, that guy is such a scumbag. I would be embarrassed if that guy supported me. He was talking about coming to Japan and just screwing girls, and he was gonna, and this guy looked like a super reject. Really, not that being fat is alone a reason to be a loser, but he was really fat and unshaven and talked like a hillbilly, and which none of those alone, you know, are a reason to reject anybody. But here's the killer. He was such a misogynist, wannabe womanizer. You know, he talked about, you know, I'm gonna make sure that any Japanese girl I'm screwing, she's gonna know that she's not the only one I'm bending over the table. Like, dude, you're not gonna be bending anybody over the table except yourself to clean up the vomit after you threw up from drinking too much and sitting alone at a bar with no one to talk to. Sorry, it's just off the top of my head, a little insult there for you. The guy was a scumbag, but okay. We can't choose our supporters. I'm sure quite a few of my supporters are equally or even worse when it comes to being a scumbag, right? But here's the thing. So he put out here's the killer. He put out a video the other day that was kind of sneaky, I suppose. He put a video and it said, you're gonna see my girlfriend walk around a supermarket in pajamas, okay? Which, sorry, it's not that impressive, but I've done a lot crazier shit than that. But I walked around all in Nagoya in a goddamn reindeer suit, and in broad daylight. So I've ridden the subway as an Iron Man, you know. But here's the thing: people gave him some shit because the video is not complete. Like he turn on the video, start watching, and then halfway through the video goes, okay, if you want to see the rest of the video, go to Patreon, right? And people gave him such shit as if they've been stabbed in the back. But dude, Patreon is like $1 or $2. That's all. If you want to see the video, if it really matters that fucking much to you, go see it. Don't complain. Okay, maybe it's a swish and bait. I did talk to a couple of my friends, and they said, yeah, I think that was really douchey of him to do. But how else are you going to point people to Patreon and point out that he's going to be putting shit on Patreon that you can't see? Like I said in a previous video, in December, I put out, I think, over 20 videos that have never seen the light of day on my YouTube channel, and may never. Some of them, actually the majority of them, will never see the light of day. They're just for Patreon. Some of those are even like 40-minute or 30-minute laundry videos, just like the one I'm doing now, which a lot of people enjoy. If you're a Patreon member, you get to see those, and it's like amazing. The guy puts out, let's say, at least 2 videos a week. That's 8 videos, 10. Let's say 8 to 10 videos a month, and you know, you throw them $2. And which you don't have to, but don't bitch about it. If you support someone, then support them. And if you don't have the money, or you don't want to support him for some whatever reason, you don't have it, or you have some moral, you know, problem with supporting people on the internet, then don't. But don't bitch about it. You act like he goddamn crucified somebody. I mean, oh, and there was some guy that I thought was kind of rational for a while. His name is Mad Dusa, and I actually made a video kind of sad that he left my channel because he gave me some shit about me being mean. He was insulted by my attitude, and they told me to fuck off because of my opinion. Yes, my opinion was different from his. I thought it was pretty funny, but at the same time I was a bit sad that he didn't want to communicate with me, because I thought, like I said before, you know, when we're fighting and talking, that's good. That's good if we're actually getting somewhere. If you're just throwing insults, that's not good. Arguing is okay. He refused to argue, so he just left. But this same guy is all over. A couple of people have popped up and put hate videos out about Ryan Boundless. We got to stop him. They're actually hating on him in video form, which you might argue I have done, but no, I actually make points. You know, I don't just say he sucks. And they're hating on him, and this Mad Dusa guy like wrote so much that after I read all that he wrote, I thought, wow, he's like insane. Someone who thinks about this so much, wow, I'm kind of glad he's gone. He's just like, I kind of thought he was a nice guy, but now I think there's something wrong with him. For him to think so much about Ryan Boundless, and another guy's like, yeah, he's a pedophile. Like, what are you talking about? He's a pedophile. People don't even know what that word is, but some guy, and he shows his face. Some guy's like a Jamaican. He's made videos with his face on it. He's like, he's a pedophile. Jesus Christ. How disappointing. How freaky. How creepy. And, you know, too bad for Ryan Boundless. If you're watching this and you support Ryan Boundless, you don't have to tell him I sent you, but if you like him, then support him. Okay. Don't give him shit about it, you know. $2 is nothing, man. It's like a cup of, you can't even buy a cup of coffee with $2 or whatever you decide. Think about how much you like someone, and I can't believe I'm making this video, even talking about this. But personally, I think there are other people who put a lot of work on their videos who deserve a lot more. For example, Rachel and June, of course Grayson and Ryosuke, Texan in Tokyo, great channel. Of course Ami, the animator. I support all those people and more. Tom Fallon goes to Matsubara, real musician, putting a lot of work in his channel, into his music, right? All those people really work hard. I would say, actually, when it comes to quality, Ryan has got to beef it up, you know, he's got to improve. But if you support him, then you should support him. You know, that's all I got to say. And don't bitch, and shut up. And of course, there's me. You can also support me if you like my channel. I got a Patreon too. It'll be in the description. And if you got to the end of this video, let me see. You should know that I'm coming up on, I believe, a station called, I'm coming up now, I'll tell you what, I'm coming up to a curry restaurant. Do you like curry? What kind of curry? Why is curry so big in Japan? Japanese people think curry is like Japanese, but it's not. But it's like the most popular food ever in Japan. Seriously, curry is so amazingly popular in Japan. It's kind of weird. Anyway, tell me what you think about curry. This is where I'm going. Curry Ichiban. Thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you soon.